I've been a Playboy for almost 4 years now, and it has taught me 12 insanely valuable lessons about girls that I wish I knew when I was younger. This first lesson is extremely savage. So, girls don't care about your feelings, and let me prove this. This past weekend, I was at a pregame before going to a festival with my best friend, his girlfriend, and her friend. She was going to be meeting up with a guy that she's been casually seeing for some time now at the festival. And when we were at the pregame together, I got with her in the bathroom very quickly before we went. And she went on to go and, say hi and hug this guy like nothing happened. She did not care. And to further this, she was being overly flirtatious with me, touching me, hugging up on me, doing all kinds of things right in front of him. And I was like, isn't that your guy that you're casually seeing right there? And she was like, oh, he doesn't know or he doesn't care. And I was like, it's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure he can tell what's going on. And he was just sitting there with a not so happy face. So girls don't care about your feelings if they don't care. They might care. There's some girls who do and who are good girls, but there's a lot who are not. So if they're in that play girl phase, like the Playboy phase, you got to be very, very careful because they are not going to be paying attention to your feelings. They're just going to be thinking about how to have the most fun and what they want in that moment. And this next lesson piggybacks off of the last story, but before we get into it, I made a Playboy secrets guide giving you all the knowledge that I cannot share on YouTube because it would get me banned, and you can grab that for free. It's the first thing in the description below. All right, so let's get into it. This next lesson is that you can sleep with girls extremely quickly depending on their values. So if a girl doesn't value sex too much or it's not a big deal for her, you can make moves and escalate things very quickly, like I did with that girl in the bathroom. It literally took 30 seconds. It just took a kiss and just me saying bathroom, and she said yes, and we left. It was that easy. But there's plenty of girls who I've seen who place a lot of value on sex, and it's not a thing that they'll just do with anybody, and in which case it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to take a lot more wooing to get them to get to that point. So you just got to really be able to read the girl in the situation and see where she falls in that spectrum on how she values sex. And there's a couple key questions you can ask her that are very non-intrusive to figure this out and kind of gauge where she falls on the spectrum and what type of a girl she is. And this third one is extremely powerful, which is that effective communication will get you anything you want in life, including girls. And I don't mean verbal communication. So many people think communication and they think what you say. Yes, that is a very important aspect. And as you tailor your verbal communication, you can get a lot of great things. But I'm also talking about your nonverbal communication. The physical actions that you take, they communicate things as well. All of these things tie together to be communication as a whole. If we were just talking about verbal communication, I would just say the words and things that you speak. But I'm talking about communication, the actions you do, how you do things with your body, like the posture you have, the way that you touch someone. These are all forms of communication. And the quicker that you can master communication as a whole between verbal, nonverbal, your facial expressions, knowing which actions will lead to certain things in certain situations, it gets very tricky. There's not something I could just explain to you because it's only come from years of experience. But you have to be out there trying different things to understand which actions, which nonverbal gestures, all these different things can communicate different messages that allow you to be witty, funny, charismatic, charming. It's all part of the learning journey that you're not going to be able to really, really know unless you've had tons of experience and practice with it. So you really need to learn effective communication because it will level you up as a Playboy so much. And if you really want to succeed as a Playboy, you need to do this fourth lesson, which is become an object of desire. You want to be someone that girls want. The same way that guys will obsess over a girl who has a beautiful face, big titties, nice ass, skinny waist, and they want her, you need to become the equivalent of that in male form. You need to have your facial looks dialed in, whether you're gonna rock a clean shave, a beard that really is trimmed up nicely, whatever hairstyle you're gonna do, you're gonna wanna get your style on point. If you have really, really great style and a great physique, this is going to elevate you so much. It's going to make you so much more of an attractive character. And like I just mentioned, the great physique is absolutely essential. This is the thing that is 90% of your physical avatar that you can control. So this should be the number one priority, is putting on as much muscle as possible, building muscle in the proper areas like the shoulders, back, chest, arms, legs, getting abs if you can get lean. This is going to really get you to the next level in terms of attractiveness. doing these three things, becoming an object of desire, and also just focusing on building your lifestyle, upping your finances, upping your mentality, your mindset, your knowledge, your intelligence. These are all going to be things that cause you to be an object of desire. It's going to make you so much more attractive to girls. And here's a lesson from the art of seduction, which is that words are your deadliest weapons. As I just mentioned before, men are very interested in the physical, the things that girls have in terms of their bodies, their face. That is what really can attract a girl. And you do want to become the object of desire as a man, but words are your secret weapons to seducing. You need to know how to smooth talk a girl, to say the right things at the right time. If you can do this, going back to that effective communication point, understanding what to say, how to communicate non-verbally with your actions and gestures, this is gonna make you extremely seductive as a man. And it's once again only something that you'll really learn after having practiced a lot. You're not gonna be smooth on the first time that you try this. So you just have to be out there talking to a lot of girls, and you will develop this level of communicative abilities that allows you to seduce at large with your words. And this next one is that you need to learn how to read girls very, very quickly. Whether you want to be a playboy or you just want to have a relationship, it is absolutely essential that you know how to read girls and even just people at large. And the only way that you're going to do this is from interacting with tons and tons of girls. I was absolutely clueless when I was a younger guy in high school. I couldn't tell you if a girl was a good girl, a bad girl, if she would cheat, if anything. But now it's so obvious with the little subtle cues of their behaviors, their mindset, the things that they're doing, how they even dress, or little things will tell you so much about a person after you have seen so many different things unfold. When you're constantly out there and you're like, oh, I've seen this girl cheat and she thinks like this, or I've seen this girl do this. And you kind of can really piece things together, and you have your own personal experiences, sometimes things that go good for you, like me getting with the girl in the bathroom, or sometimes, you get the shit end of the stick. It happens. This is all the lessons that you need in order to really learn how to read people. But you're not going to gain this if you're not out there constantly interacting with the world at large, and particularly girls, because it's a little different than guys. So you really need to be talking to girls all the time, having fun with them, and this will teach you so much that you need to know so that you can either be an effective playboy or you can get a good relationship, because you do not want to get with a girl who is not going to be good quality and get a relationship with her, because that's just going to lead to heartbreak. So it's so important that you learn how to read people. And this next lesson has proven insanely valuable for me, which is that your mind will either be your biggest ally or your greatest enemy. See, when I was in high school, my own mind was my biggest enemy. It would tell me things like, Seb, you are short, you're 5'7", no girl's gonna find you attractive. You have acne on your face, your back, your chest. You're not gonna get any girls. You don't know how to talk to girls. You don't know what to say. These are the things that would go on in my mind that prevented me from ever talking to girls or having any level of success. Whereas now my mind only feeds me positive, optimistic thoughts. And if I ever, for whatever reason, did get a negative limiting belief thought, I understand that it's just a thought. It's just a passing thing. It's a momentary thought, just like you taking a breath. That is the same thing that a thought can be, and I don't identify with anything negative. So that is how I treat things now in terms of my mind, and my mind is my biggest ally. I am my own biggest supporter. There is no one who supports me more than myself, and it has been one of the most essential things that I've had to develop and cultivate, especially while solo traveling to new areas when I went to different cities in Sweden by myself, Norway, exploring new cities in America. My mind had to be my biggest ally for me to succeed, to make friends, to get with girls. It is absolutely essential that your mind is unified with your goals. And this next lesson is really powerful, which is that being an intelligent man will get you 10 times further. So my friend's friend is a very attractive guy. He is 6'4", built. He is huge. He benches like 350. He is so strong, huge chest, big shoulders, very handsome, really cool tattoos. And a lot of girls like him for the physical that they see. He's a very attractive guy. But he struggles to take things further than just like one night stands or really short relationships, because I don't know this, but from what I'm told, he's very, very stupid. So he struggles to maintain relationships or continue things because he's just not that intelligent of a guy. Girls, they get with him and then they see there's nothing upstairs and then they kind of lose interest. And one of the things that I've really noticed with girls is they really like an intelligent man, especially emotional and social intelligence, these are the things that will get you so far. No one really gives a fuck if you know math. Like, that's not going to help you out. You need to understand the key intelligence factors that are actually going to move the needle and help you out in life. And emotional and social intelligence is one of those things. It is not something that I had when I was younger. I was absolutely a social idiot. But over time, I was able to cultivate it by talking to a lot of people, reading different books, learning myself through meditation and journaling. These were the things that allowed me to develop my emotional and social intelligence, which has led to me having humor, wit, being an effective communicator, and so on. So it is absolutely essential that you develop your intelligence because it will get you 10 times further. And this next lesson is purely facts, which is that if you want to be the most attractive, charming version of yourself, you need to have true internal confidence. You cannot let external factors take away from who you are as a man and your internal confidence levels. You need to have a source of confidence that internally validates who you are as a man, that rejections from girls will not impact. So for me, this has been my morning routine: reading, meditating, gratitude journaling, things like cold showers, ice baths, saunas, doing things like that, really cultivating that presence of mind and mental training, just as you would train in the gym for your body. I train the mind the same way through those activities, building trust in my word, doing disciplined acts, gaining new knowledge, learning about myself, just improving my mental health. This is gonna make me the most attractive version of myself. This is what I have truly learned and believe in. And that allows me to have a really good internally validated source of confidence. So even if I get rejected first thing in the night, even if it's a terrible rejection, there's so many times where I've gotten rejected multiple times and then gone on to have a great night because I didn't let those rejections affect me. And I kept persisting as still the best version of myself, charming, charismatic, happy. Those rejections didn't get to me. So it's so important that if you want to be a playboy or really just have success in life in general, that you build internally validated confidence. And understanding this next point is really valuable, which is that eye contact is where a lot of the attraction is built and confidence is displayed. I hear it all the time. Girls will say to me, "Your eye contact is way too strong." They'll be sometimes pushing away my chin, or they are always the first one to break eye contact and look away. But confidence is going to be displayed in your eye contact. When you hold strong eye contact, it is just day and night in terms of how you interact with the world. So many girls are going to be so much more receptive to you when you hold strong eye contact. And when you can stare into a girl's eyes, especially during conversation or in bed or things like this, it will really take you to the next level. You need to really start practicing holding eye contact to the point where the other person is uncomfortable. I promise you, there is no detriment from doing this, especially if you have a smile and a really friendly face that you're making. It is going to only help you out. It's going to create a very seductive look for you. And this next lesson is going to help you out if you're ever nervous or scared to interact with girls, which is that girls really don't remember or care about many of their interactions with guys. Obviously, if you sleep with them, they're probably going to remember it. But the little things like talking to them, hanging out with them, even a kiss is not going to do much. They don't really care, and they don't think too much about it because they have so much validation and male attention in their life that they don't really care about one kiss or one interaction or the time you talked to her. If you messed up, they don't care. They forget about it instantly. The only person that's going to remember if you fumbled or said something stupid is you. So you got to learn to just let go of that shit because no one is thinking about it besides you, and it's only going to hold you back from being the most charming, charismatic version of yourself. If you can truly not give a fuck and just start going after everything that you want, talking to every single girl that you find attractive, whether you mess up or not, you don't care. You're just like, I'm just here trying my best, having a good time. You will succeed so much more. I promise you. This is the biggest thing that changed my life, was just starting to talk to all the girls, realizing that they don't really care. They're not going to remember. It doesn't make a difference. It's not a big deal at all. And this last lesson is a really good guiding principle, which is that you want to form things based off of mutual self-interest. So, for example, if a girl really likes you and you really like her, you are mutually aligned in your attraction to each other. There's plenty of times when I've slept with a girl just because she kind of likes me. She's like, oh, he's a funny, cute guy, but she doesn't really think too much of it. She just wanted to hook up short term. It happens all the time. those are never the best interactions. The best interactions are the ones where a girl's like really, really into you and you're really into her. This happened to me this Friday. I just experienced this. And it is day and night in terms of the interaction that you will have with that girl. So I would really recommend trying to form things based off of mutual self-interest. If you only want to have like one girl, even if you want to be like a playboy, you want to see her casually, whatever your interests are, try and form things based off of mutual self-interest, because that will just be the best quality of experience that you will have. And this goes for all walks of life, honestly, whether you're going to make a friend. If you have mutual self-interest, say you're both trying to learn martial arts, or you're both trying to start online business, or you both want to travel to a new country, that is where the best friendships are born. And the same thing goes in terms of girls with attraction, where it's like the best interactions are going to come when you're both really, really attracted to each other and you have that mutual self-interest of wanting to really get to know each other, really feeling that passion and that attraction to each other. Those are going to be the best interactions that you have with girls, at least in my experience. And boys, once again, I made the Playboy Secrets guide that gives away all my knowledge that I can't share on YouTube, so you can grab that for free. It's the first link in the description below.